In the aftermath of one of Port Charles's most tumultuous weeks in recent memory, General Hospital continues to unravel a tapestry of secrets, reckonings, and irreversible decisions. As Wednesday, May 28, 2025 unfolded, the tremors from the nurses' ball were still reverberating through the city. While the glitz and glamour of the annual event provided a temporary escape, the truths bubbling beneath the surface are proving far more explosive. Michael Corinthos' unexpected return has rattled every corner of his fractured family. Once presumed unreachable during his treatment in Germany, Michael's homecoming was anything but quiet. Now back in Port Charles, he is reclaiming control, not just of his own narrative, but of his children. Bringing Wiley and Amelia under his roof was more than a reunion, it was a declaration of war. Though his loved ones, including Jason and Carly, are rallying behind him, their support won't shield him from the storm that looms ahead. A custody battle that could cleave what's left of his already strained relationship with Willow and Drew. The June 2 trial is shaping up to be a crucible for everyone involved. Willow, still reeling from Michael's sudden reappearance, finds herself cornered between heartbreak and betrayal. Drew, who once stood beside her as a reliable co-parent, now feels the sting of being blindsided. Michael may be back, but he's not the same man who left. Hardened by his time away and emboldened by secrets, chief among them his quiet rekindling of a relationship with Sasha, he's ready to fight. The custody battle isn't just about parental rights. It's about identity, about proving who truly has the best interest of the children at heart. Meanwhile, the emotional shockwaves extend far beyond the Corinthos family. Across town, Brooke, Lynn and Dante have finally taken a step long overdue. They've reached out to Gio. Their son, long kept in the shadows of truth, is now staring down the complexity of a life built on omissions and half-truths. The trailer tease may have been vague. Getting in touch could mean anything from a voicemail to a heartfelt letter, but the emotional weight of this outreach is undeniable. Gio, once content with the version of reality he'd been handed, now finds himself at a crossroads. Contact from the very people who crafted his narrative might spark rage, longing, or both. His world has cracked open, and the foundation that once seemed solid, his understanding of who he is and where he comes from, has been violently shaken. Whether he agrees to meet Brooke, Lynn and Dante remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: the silence between them is becoming untenable. Dante and Brooke Lynn's own relationship is equally fraught. Once bound by their shared secret and deep affection, the tension between them has only grown. The guilt, the missed opportunities, and the unresolved emotions surrounding Gio have driven a wedge they may not be able to remove. As they attempt to present a united front to reach their son, their own dynamic is increasingly under scrutiny. Can their fragile truths withstand the emotional tsunami of reconnecting with the boy they lost and betrayed? Meanwhile, the fallout continues within the Port Charles Police Department. When Chase finally opens up to Dante, the air grows thick with implications. Confessing that he's known the truth about Gio's adoption for months could mean the end of their partnership, not just professionally, but personally. These two have stood side by side through countless investigations, but this betrayal cuts deeper than most. It's not just about the lie, it's about the time lost, the trust broken, and the inability to fix something that should never have been broken to begin with. Dante, already fragile from the unraveling threads of his life, may not have the emotional reserves left to forgive Chase easily. What began as a seemingly minor cover-up has spiraled into a full-blown ethical and emotional dilemma. For Chase, the confession is a leap of faith; for Dante, it's a test of resilience. Whether their bond can withstand the truth remains one of Port Charles's most pressing questions. On another front, Nina's decisions continue to cast long shadows. In a rare moment of vulnerability, she turns to Maxie for counsel, perhaps not expecting sympathy, but simply needing someone to listen. Nina, ever impulsive, has once again placed herself in a moral gray zone, and this time, she may have dragged others down with her. The reveal that she and Portia orchestrated Drew's drugging, a scheme meant to distract and discredit, has set in motion a sequence of events no one can control. Maxie, sharp and pragmatic, wastes no time laying out what Nina doesn't want to hear. This disaster could have been avoided. If Nina had simply trusted Willow with the truth about her involvement with Drew, none of this might have happened. Instead, Nina chose deception, yet again, and now, Port Charles is bracing for the fallout. Maxie, who has long been both friend and critic, serves as a voice of reason Nina desperately needs but rarely heeds. There's also the matter of Drew. His spiraling behavior after being drugged, culminating in a night of debauchery at the Savoy, has not only damaged his credibility but jeopardized his standing in the custody trial. Whether Willow knows the full extent of what happened that night is unclear, but if she learns the truth, it could drastically alter her allegiance. As the dust from the nurses' ball begins to settle, it becomes clear that the real drama is only beginning. Each revelation leads to another question, each confession to a deeper wound. Michael may have returned home, but what he's walking into is not the family he left behind. Brooke, Lynn and Dante may hope for reconciliation with their son, but it's uncertain if forgiveness is even on the table. And Nina, whose choices have always skirted the line between love and manipulation, may finally have crossed into a place she can't come back from. Port Charles is a city in flux. Loyalties are shifting, relationships are cracking, and secrets, once buried, are erupting into daylight. The question now isn't whether everything will change. It's whether anyone will be left standing when it does.